In response to Billy's Talking Points memo from Monday, October 5th, 2015, the truth about gun crime in the United States of America. And the reason why I laugh is he comes on and he talks about you are in the no spin zone, and he spins the crap out of everything. Now, let's get something very straight here. We all know that Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, they would like to increase the regulations on guns, whereas Billy and all of the Republican Party don't want to have anything done to guns in any way, shape, or form. And the thing that I think needs to be brought up the most about all of this is that Billy is saying that they never work. Billy is saying that you can't legislate this thing out. Billy is saying that there will always be a bad person that will get a hold of guns and hurt people. And the Second Amendment rights can never be infringed upon. And even the last couple of them, those guns were legally purchased. All fair statements, all indicating his point of view is that nothing, absolutely nothing can be done. And my particular point is that a lot of other countries have done a lot of other things. And you don't see conservatives in England, in France, in Germany, in Sweden, in Norway, in Japan. You don't see them saying we need to have more guns on the street. You don't see that. You don't see them saying, hey, if you get robbed, you need to have a gun. And of course, the statistics bear it out in terms of the number of gun deaths in the United States. And it is all because of guns and the way guns are regulated in the United States, and that they are not regulated at all. Now, Hillary is coming out with some stuff. Martin O'Malley came out with some stuff. What's his face? Bernie's not saying a whole lot because he comes from a big, small state that's mostly white, that has a fair amount of guns and really not a whole lot of gun crime. But what Hillary and O'Malley are basically saying is more can be done. More should be done. We need to look at this. You know, it's sort of like when the Republicans talk about immigration. The only thing they can talk about is the wall, because once we take care of illegal immigration, once we secure our borders, then then we'll deal with the rest of it. And of course, with guns, no, we're never going to touch the Second Amendment. We're never going to get close to anything. And even if we get close to it, then we're going to take the border for even further apart. We're going to, move the goalposts. And they've used it very well with the Supreme Court to get some things. They do a lot of stuff in reference to carry, concealed carry, all of that stuff. And, again, we all know the statistics bear it out incredibly. I think it was the Washington Post. For every one instance where a gun is used to prevent a crime, there are 2 instances where a gun is ended up being used to accidentally hurt someone. There are 34 or 33 instances where that gun is used to hurt let's say a domestic person within that household. And in 70, for every one gun that protects someone in their house, 78 people use a gun to commit suicide. So these are astronomical types of numbers. And no other Western democracy, Western government allows guns to the extent that we allow guns. And of course, the big thing is that everyone is saying that they're going to take your guns. And we're not going, we are not going to take your guns. We need to have them registered. We need to know who has them. We need to be able to test people to see if they should or shouldn't have them. Is it going to be easy? No. Is it perfect? No. Is it foolproof? No. Are there going to be cracks in it? Yes. Is it going to have to be continued to tweak? Yes. And anytime that there's something that, if something like this, some type of, slaughter, mass murder occurs, then all of the Republicans will say, see, none of it worked. So this is what is going to have to be going up against all the time. And of course, one of the things that Billy talks about most is Chicago. What was that song? Chicago. Oh, but here's the thing. Billy went to Harvard. He's a smart guy. He knows what the truth is. And he is deliberately not telling the truth in reference to Chicago. Yes, there are stringent gun regulations in the city of Chicago. And of course, Billy says that's not stopping all the killing. But what we all know is that guns are coming not from Chicago, but coming into Chicago from different types of places where guns are allowed to be sold legally, and then they are sold and resold again and work their way into Chicago. There are I think they've mentioned they've had studies and they know approximately what states they're coming from. I think Indiana is a big one in some of the southern states, where this is where these guns are coming. Why? Because they're legal in those states, and there's no trace. Or I don't know what all of the regulations are about it, but guns are all over the place in Chicago. Not because of Chicago's guns laws, but because of lax laws outside of the state, and they're being brought in. Now, do we have to do better policing? Yes. Do we have to have maybe a lot more in the way of mental health? Yes. Do we have to have increases in education? Yes. Do we have to have increases in lots of other things, after school education programs, after school sports programs, to keep kids from getting into trouble? Yes, we have to do all of that. But Billy just basically, he discounts that. He dismisses that. He doesn't want to accept that bad people will do bad things because they'll find a way to do them, and you can never legislate this in. That's defeatist. That's the voice of a loser.